So I was originally going to post a video from, all of Woodland. One end of Woodland to the other. But the more I thought about it, I was like, let me show you let's do Kings Road to Woodland up Sampson. So that's what we're going to do. Because I got a couple things I want to talk about. But first, while we're in Chatham, it's just, look at this. We're on Kings Road in Chatham, and it's just another sign of how Chatham wants to be Madison. They paint their roads maroon and gold. They want to be Madison so bad. I mean, you don't see us painting any blue and white strips down the center of our roads. No. That's the first thing I wanted to say. Then the second thing is, we're going to come up on, we're taking Kings Road because I'm going to show you a few sites in Madison to kind of just show you where champions were made. And Kings Road School is just one of them. And so, yeah, I'm just going to show you where the champions in town were made. That's not to say that you couldn't make champions in the other elementary school. I'm just saying schools. I'm just saying pound for pound, Kings Road probably produced the most champions in town, at least in my era. And it was mainly because when you factored in a couple things. The first is, and I'm going to talk more about, well, there's several things to talk about. One, you have to factor in the Delbarton kids. So a lot of those kids, most of them probably went to the Kings Road School. High altitude training, because we were up on the hill, so we got high altitude training. And we got hill training that we're about to see. Like, here's Kings Road School. I had no idea all this construction was going on. I'm assuming that has something to do with that big bond that everyone flipped out over a couple of years ago. I'm assuming that's what it is. But anyway, back to what I was saying. High altitude training and hill training. So this is just one example. Samson Ave. We're not even getting into the number of times that I used to do sprints up Edgewood. This is Samson. We're getting ready to turn on. The right to me right now between Kings Road and Main Street, that's not really a hill, but that's still probably bigger than most of the other hills in the neighborhood. But then when you come up here, now we got a little hill action, man. This is steeper than you think. This is the toughest hill in town. Like, we're already to the top of Myrtle, just to give you an example. So the hill. So we had the best athletes, high altitude training, the hills. And not only did we have to climb hills to get home from school, but when we got home, we had to climb up the stairs too. So we had hills and stairs. So Kings Road School, one place where champions were made. Sampson Ave, just another place where champions were made. Now we're coming up here to Woodland. I'm going to show you another place where champions were made. Now we're on Woodland. You had to run the wall when you were a little kid. You could just walk. You couldn't just walk. You had to jump down in the driveway, jump back up on the wall. That's just another thing. At the time, you didn't think it was a big deal, but you were turning yourself into a champion by running on the wall. You were practicing balance, calisthenics. Here's another place, Woodland Field. That's where champions were made, right there. Here's the thing, though, about Woodland Field. Growing up, we used to have a lot of pickup football games there and all of that good stuff. And we always called it Woodland Field. I've come to find out it's called Niles Park. Since when was it called Niles Park? And somebody's probably going to say since forever, but that's not what we called it growing up. Personally, I think they should rename Delbarton Field Niles Field and just call that Woodland Field. Just do away with the name Delbarton Field altogether. You can keep Delbarton Drive. It's bad enough they steal kids from Madison to go to their school. We're going to name a field after them? Come on. If I was the mayor, somebody needs to talk to Mayor Bob about this. I don't want to get into what school was the second best athletically in town. I mean, you can make a few arguments either way between Torrey J and Central Ave. You know, one of them is going to be third place because we know second place goes to St. Vincent's. So it's Kings Road School, St. Vincent's, then either Torrey J or Central Avenue. I used to lean on Torrey J because their school is shaped like a track. It's a circle, so maybe the kids were fast or something like that. But Central Avenue combines Central and Lucy D, so they might have an advantage over Torrey J with that. I guess it would depend what the sport or activity was. What are we competing in? Football? Yeah, all right, I'll give it to Central. Soccer would be tough, though. That would be a tough one to predict. So we have Giralda Farms with a path all the way around the outside, and you have but there's also new trails inside Giralda Farms that you see all these cars lined up for. They are very nice. The trails in there. They put in some cinder trails. There's some open fields if you want to let your dogs off leash. I don't even know if you're supposed to do that. Everyone does it. We do it. What the heck? What the hey? No other dogs around. You look left, you look right, you take them off the leash. But we also have a well-disciplined dog that will come back immediately. So, my boy Winston. So if you're far enough away and you keep an eye on the entrance, you see somebody moseying up. Get on over here now, boy. Leash him up. But I don't think I've seen any sign. I'd have to look at the sign at the door. Yeah, I think this is better than going Woodland wire to wire. You know. I like Woodland and all, but it was good to show you. It was good to discuss Madison championship culture. Kings Road rules. Kings Road rules. I'm not sure what kind of kids are going to school up here in this area. Alright, I said I would go wire to wire, but I didn't go wire to wire, so why didn't I just get the heck off? Anyway, Kings Road rules. That's the moral of this dash cam. Kings Road School rules. R.I.P. Herb Benoyer. R.I.P. Mr. B. Well, I can't think of anybody else. Until next time.